An original podcast from podlatino.com.
You glance at the screen and see the number in the corner. 1. 1% of battery. At some point during the afternoon, usage piled up without you paying much attention. And now the phone is about to die right when you still need to get somewhere, coordinate something, or simply know where you are. It's not a disaster, but in an instant, every function you took for granted is about to become unavailable. Without much planning on our part, the phone became a central tool for getting around the city. We use it to navigate, to pay, to communicate, to light our way, to call a ride, to check a train schedule, to look up an address, to confirm a meeting, to take a photo, to listen to music while we walk. We carry it everywhere and rarely stop to think about what we'd do if it suddenly wasn't there. The problem isn't relying on technology. The problem is relying on a single tool for everything at once, with no backup plan for when that tool fails. When the battery starts dropping into critical territory, the first thing to do is change how you're using the phone. Stop using it for entertainment and start treating it as an emergency tool. That means closing apps you don't need, turning the screen brightness down as low as possible, enabling battery saver mode if your device has it, and turning off Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and mobile data if you're not actively using them. All of those features draw power in the background, even when you're not consciously using them. Turning them off can buy you several extra minutes, and in certain situations, those minutes matter a lot. The flashlight is a good example of something that seems harmless, but drains the battery faster than you'd expect. If you need it for a quick moment, use it. But if you're walking around at night, with it on, out of habit, or waiting for something with it running, you're spending a critical resource on something that could be handled another way. The same goes for videos, social media, or any use that doesn't serve a clear purpose in that moment. When you're running low, every decision about how you use the phone carries real weight. Before the phone shuts off completely, there's a window of time worth using well. If you still have signal and even a couple of percent left, use that margin wisely. Send your location to someone you trust. Give them a quick heads up about your situation. If there's a meeting point that makes sense, coordinate it now. A short, clear message is far more efficient than several long ones sent through apps that consume more power and data. A text message can also come in handy when signal is weak or when you want to make sure the message goes through without depending on a specific app. A 30-second phone call can carry more information than 10 text exchanges. If you still have some battery but not enough for everything, think about what you need most urgently. There's a simple hierarchy. First, communication, to reach out or coordinate with someone. Then location, so you know where you are or so someone else does. Then key information, like an address, a reservation number, a transit schedule. Everything else comes after that. If you can take a screenshot of the map with your route before the phone dies, do it. If you can write down an address on paper or say it out loud to commit it to memory, even better. That information stored outside the phone can be the difference between finding your way and getting lost. There are preventive habits that cost almost nothing and change a lot. Keeping a small external battery in your bag or pocket is probably the simplest one. It doesn't need to be high capacity. Even a partial charge is useful. Carrying a short compatible cable also helps, because finding an available outlet at a store, a station, or a hotel is pretty common if you have the cable on you. Keeping important contacts written down somewhere physical, even on a folded piece of paper in your wallet, is a habit that might seem outdated but works perfectly when you actually need it. Memorizing one or two key numbers is still a valuable skill. Not every number, but the ones you genuinely need to dial from any phone in a real emergency. Now, If the phone has already shut off completely, the first step is the most important and also the easiest to skip. Stop. Don't move blindly. Take a moment to look at your surroundings. Cities are full of visible information that we normally ignore because we're staring at a screen. Signs show street names, neighborhoods, and addresses. Avenues have names. Storefronts have numbers. Subway and train stations have physical maps posted on the walls. Buses display their routes. There's an enormous amount of navigational information available in urban spaces that requires no battery to function. If you need to ask for help, choose where you do it carefully. A pharmacy, a hotel, a transit station, a bank, a shopping center, or any large establishment with visible staff are safe places to ask for directions, use a phone, or simply get your bearings. You don't need to hand your unlocked phone to a stranger. If you want to make a call from someone else's device, dial the number yourself or read it out loud. Caution never hurts, especially if you're in an unfamiliar area or it's late at night. Running out of phone also forces you to recover basic skills that don't disappear. They just get a little rusty from disuse. Observing your surroundings instead of experiencing them through a screen. Remembering a route by visual landmarks rather than following an arrow. Asking someone instead of waiting for an algorithm to answer. Estimating how long a walk will take instead of asking the map to calculate it. None of those skills require special training, just practice and a little attention. The phone is a remarkable tool. Nobody is arguing otherwise, but when it becomes the only way we think, navigate, communicate, and solve problems, any failure becomes disproportionately overwhelming. Running out of battery can be inconvenient. It can complicate an afternoon or an evening and cause some real stress. But it doesn't erase your ability to observe, to remember, to ask for help, to move with purpose, or to figure out your next step without a screen telling you what to do. Real preparation isn't about rejecting technology. It's about not being completely helpless when technology fails.